I don't know where you've been, but you're gonna respect this courtroom. My life has proven that it's not about where you come from, it's about where you're going. From a jailed youth who had my record expunged to becoming the youngest judge elected.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
In just 15 years. Ma'am, let me know when you want to go to rehab. Otherwise, I think you're a crackhead.
Absolutely not.
My goal is to inspire others to overcome their obstacles. You don't need him and his little raggedy roommate.
Thank you.
All while having a little fun on Mathis Court. You look like you're ready to lie right the first word out your mouth. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Kevin Timlin suing Mike Brown on the amount of $1,200.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may all be seated.
Mr. Timlin claims his cousin hired him to paint 3 rooms in his home and says the defendant accused him of spreading COVID and withheld part of his payment.
State your name.
I'm Kevin Timlin, sir.
Sir?
Mike Brown.
And sir, you're suing Mr. Brown for $1,200 for non-payment of services.
That's correct.
All right. What type of services you giving?
I'm a painter, Your
Oh,
Honor.
okay. Where do you guys know each other from?
So this is my cousin.
Oh, okay. All right. And what type of relationship have you all had over the years?
Well, you know, we were pretty close growing up all the time, but the past couple years, ever since he got back from school and got his new job, sometimes, you know, he try to act a little bougie.
That's what folks sometimes think.
Yeah.
And that's not always the truth. And we need to stop that crabs in the barrel syndrome. If one of us succeed with the others think that they think they're bougie, they think they're too good, they think they're elites, and then what we call them, and all of that. No, they're just pursuing excellence. And all of us should pursue excellence and not assume that those who have made certain achievements think that they're better than us.
That's correct.
Yeah, but that's what a lot of us in our community do. I don't know about other communities. That's why diversity is important, so we know about other communities. But all I know, in our community, that crabs in the barrel syndrome that we were taught and programmed to have from 300 years ago still keeps us down. Because folks like you should be going to him, how did you do it? Help me out. I want to go to school too, or wherever. Instead, he think he better. Let me tell you this. As most know, I spent several months in jail. Came out, 6 months later, I was in college under an affirmative action program, y'all. And as y'all see, it works. I was a little more advanced than my competitors, so I got in because I was troubled. They gave me a chance, and you see what happened. However, that next summer, went back to the housing projects where I grew up, and the same guys I used to run with, I tried to get them to go to college. I said, hey man, I can get y'all in college. All you gotta do is get a GED. That's all I did. And I thought it was free until they sent me them loan papers after you can get in, you don't even have to have any money. Because I didn't have any parents at all, so I was given the maximum grant and some loans. You know what they did? We don't want no parts of that white man world. Matter of fact, check in what you got. They pistol whooped me and robbed me and left me bloodied. That's a problem for our community. I'm trying to come back and even pull them up. And they beat me down just because I wanted to do better for myself. But I'm coming back to help y'all do better for yourself. Nah. You out there doing better yourself. You think you better than us. So boom, 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 boom. You ain't no better than you, and I don't believe you think you are, do you?
No, sir.
Than the rest of your family. You give me some background. I want to hear about some of your achievements, too, that he hating on.
I attended Morehouse College, graduated
Number one college in America.
Yes.
For men, it's all men's college.
Yes, a 2003 graduate degree in chemistry, number 1.
Wow.
And since then, I've gotten to biotech and became an executive in biotech.
Wow. That's genius talk there, Doc. That's genius stuff. Morehouse, no wonder you mad.
I'm not mad.
You don't even know how babies are made. messing with you. I'm messing with you. You shouldn't have ever shown that. Showing these folks that our community get jealous of each other, that we have crabs in the barrel.
Oh, I'm not
You should have been
jealous of
saying, we admire him and our family on how far he's went. Instead, our family, he looks down on us. He thinks he's better than us. No, did you ever reach back, though? Did you ever reach back to one of the relatives, one of the younger relatives?
I reached out to my cousin.
That might have shown potential?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, to my cousin. That's why we're here today.
He reached out to you to try and bring you up?
No, sir, he did not.
What'd you do?
I told him to start a business, and he did.
Okay, there you go. All right. And you gave him some business to support that business.
Did, yes.
There you go.
Coming up on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
When I gave him the bill, he only paid me $1,800 of the work.
Why?
Because he
You
claims...
think he better than y'all? Sound like I might have been wrong all along. You might be on to something.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Kevin Timlin, who is suing his cousin Mike Brown for non-payment of services.
It was my first cousin. Well, not first cousin, but it was my cousin, Addison Hines. I always try and mention it. He's the cousin that took me by the arm. My mother turned me over to him. She was dying, couldn't control me, coming out of jail. She said, would you please help him? I knew nothing about college. Army had turned me down because I had a record. And all I had was a GED. He took me by the hand. He said, they got a program up there called Affirmative Action. They give second chances to people like you. Went there, sure enough, boom, and as you see what happened. 15 years later, I was the youngest judge in Michigan history. So that's the type of opportunity we should give each other to our young cousins, all of the family members in need. All right, now tell me about this paint job.
Absolutely. So Mike hired me to come to his house to paint 3 rooms, and I actually came to do it for him. I gave him a family discount. Did the work. He loved the work. I presented him with the bill that was $3,000, which was a steep discount. Like I said, it's family. This is my cousin. I've always done little odds and ends for him. When I gave him the bill, he only paid me $1,800 of the work.
Why?
Because he
claims... You think he better than y'all? Sound like I might have been wrong all along. You might be on to something.
Well, he claims...
Why did he pay the man all his money? You think you're better than him? I'll let you tell me.
Yeah, he claims that I was responsible for him and his wife getting COVID.
Oh.
And so he deducted the cost of $1,200.
You believe you were?
I don't believe so.
Did you have COVID during the time?
I did have COVID.
You at someone's house with COVID, sir?
Well, I wasn't there when I started the job. I did not have COVID.
Yes,
I just was not.
It has an incubation period.
Well, I did not know I had COVID then.
What month and year was this? Anybody know offhand? There was intense in particular months, particularly before the vaccines.
Yeah.
It was really intense. People were dropping like flies. God bless them. So.
This was 6 months ago, so that was around April.
Well, you're the last one on earth that has COVID, that got COVID, huh? You're the last man standing, at least you're standing. All right, sir. Tell me your side, sir.
So we agreed that he would do a paint job in my house. I said I would support his little business. And so we agreed to a timeline and that he would do 3 rooms.
It's not a little
He said a week. And so at the end of week 1, it was Friday, he said he wasn't finished, he needed a few more days. So on Sunday, I started to reach out to him through text to ask him when he would come finish the job because I need him to complete the job per our agreement.
And
he did come on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the following week.
And gave you COVID.
And gave me COVID.
Because you pressured him.
That's what happened.
The man was trying to tell you. He just didn't want to tell you all his business. He was trying to let you know.
But he did.
Well, I did let him know, Your Honor.
I think you should give me an extra week. No, I need to know. I'm telling you, I need 1 more week, 5 more days.
Actually, Your Honor, I told him I was sick.
Did you?
I did. I have it in text message.
Sure.
He didn't tell me he had COVID, though. He didn't say he was sick. He said he wasn't feeling well.
I did say I was sick. It's in the text messages. And
Did you say you had a contagious virus? a
No,
highly
I didn't know that
contagious
I had.
virus.
When I text him, I wasn't feeling that sick. I didn't know I had COVID. I just wasn't feeling well.
All right, it was only 6 months ago. Most folks weren't testing regularly in the last year and a half, so that's a tough one. What were your expenses you lost out on, sir?
So that Wednesday, he was, didn't have a mask on. He's taking tape off, messing my house up, moving furniture around, and talking to me, knowing he had COVID. I caught COVID. As soon as he left, I felt sick. So my wife Lindsay and I, we tested positive, and we ended up canceling our trip to the vineyard that weekend, which was the amount of $1,200 non-refundable. So I told my cousin, the only way to make this right is for me to take the $1,200 out of your pay.
How much did you lose?
$1,200.
Okay. Sir, you exposed them to a deadly virus. As much as people believe right now that it's just a minor virus, there's major protection, but it's still a major virus.
Correct.
And
Again.
so that's what you exposed him to, the possibility of death. It's deadly. Best man in my wedding, one of my best dear friends, died, COVID, 3-week notice. Another one, in my wedding, died, 2-week notice. Another one, the sheriff, dear friend, died, 3 weeks. Nobody I mentioned is over 60.
Wow.
And that all occurred in 1 year. I was a COVID folk. You should have been a COVID folk. Well, 6 months ago, yeah. But my point is, it's very deadly, sir.
I understand that. Your
Very
Honor.
deadly.
I didn't know I had COVID initially.
Well,
Coming up,
hope you feel better. But what time are you coming tomorrow? You should ask the man at least what was wrong with him. You didn't show any sensitivity. No wonder they think you believe you better than them. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Kevin Timlin, who is suing his cousin Mike Brown for non-payment of services.
Let me see your text, please. Amir, the one where you're talking about you were ill.
And he was not concerned about it.
I'll be there. Sound like you wanted to do the right thing, too. Well, you're supposed to be done on Friday. You say, not feeling great today. Hope you feel better, but what time are you coming tomorrow? You should ask the man at least what was wrong with him. You didn't show any sensitivity. No wonder they think you believe you better than them.
I know my cousin, he's always late.
Huh?
I know my cousin's always late. To be on time is to be late.
Yeah, no, he
Late
said
is
he wasn't
unacceptable.
feeling great, and you didn't even ask what do you think the problem is. He may have told you some symptoms, and you being a biotech leader, businessman, if he'd have told you that, you would have known.
Your Honor, my cousin was late the day before. He came to my door, asked him why he's late. He said he had a paint stick in one hand and a sob story in the other. I can't take him serious when he's telling me he's going to be late, or a reason why.
But,
I was out late the night before.
Your Honor, that's not what happened.
So when he tells you not feeling great today, you blew it off. Didn't believe him.
I didn't, no.
Okay. You assumed the risk that he wasn't telling the truth, and you shouldn't have done what you did.
Coming up,
He should have asked. Somebody tell you they're sick, sir, before they come to your house. You should have asked. That was the reasonable thing to do. And in the law, we got to operate on what is the reasonable action a person should have taken. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Kevin Timlin, who is suing his cousin Mike Brown for non-payment of services.
If you feel that they are not educated and as cultivated as the crowd that you run with, then bring it down to where you were when you were communicating with them. You ain't forgot who you were.
No, sir.
Well, then when you get around them, if it makes them more comfortable, talk to them like that. Not up here and there. Now, all I can tell you is you get your vaccines because I'm a biotech engineer, and that's all I have to say. You got to sit around that barbecue and kick it. You got to sit back and whatever you did before. I'm not asking you to be somebody you're not, but whoever you were when you were able to be a little more interactive. Go back to that, because as you see, we intimidate family members in many instances, unfortunately, when we achieve a high level of success, and most of the family do not. That's something we have to deal with, but the way we overcome that is to get engaged other ways.
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. So I'm going to grant you $600, but quite frankly, I should have been doing it the opposite way, grant him $600, but it equals the same. But you were the one really negligent in this case. He, I'm going to conclude, was what we call contributory negligent. He should have asked. Somebody tell you they're sick, sir, before they come to your house, you should have asked. That was the reasonable thing to do. And in the law, we got to operate on what is the reasonable action a person should have taken to prevent the harm that came to them. And if it is what we call mitigate the harm, meaning mitigated in this case would have at least asked what your symptoms are before you come over here to my house. So that's why I'm giving him $600, splitting the difference pretty much, saying that you all were both negligent in your own way. I want you all to be proud of him, all right? That's a high level of society. As long as he comes back right to the family, he helped you. Tell me now. Is he a family man with the rest of the distant family, extended family? Does he talk to the young members of the family? If somebody asks him some stuff, does he at least share his knowledge and his wisdom and the culture that he has gained as a result of his diverse experiences?
He doesn't talk to us much, Your Honor.
I don't believe that.
I'm telling you.
No, every Thanksgiving I'm telling him, get your vaccines.
Yeah, he talking.
That's all he talks. That's all he does, Your Honor. He just preaches on vaccines and things of that nature. He doesn't talk to us.
At least you tell him the most important things. But you can integrate yourself into the family. Get engaged other ways, all right? Have a good day.
Thank you.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $600.
Gonna let you two have some final words with each other.
You know you still owe me $600.
You need to get your vaccines, what you need to do.
I finished the
Stop
work.
infecting people.
So-
Wear a mask.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.